Smoke Dragon, what do you got? What have you been wondering about, pal?
So I'm going to have to pull open this thing to try to pronounce it right. And we've kind of talked about stuff like this before in the past.
Well, first off, we don't care about how we pronounce things. I mean, just ask Bigfoot across the way.
So they've got, and I say they, it's like I think it's kind of, Taiwan area, but like out in the water. All right. Like,
Chinese territorial waters.
Yeah, somewhere in that neck of the woods. There's these folks they call the Bajau people. Bajau.
Okay, Bajau.
Now, they are a tribe of folks.
Yeah.
That have no nation. They live on boats.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. And when you see it on The Amazing Race, they have these cities that are full floating cities.
It's just like Waterworld, but it's real.
It's a popular thing in Southeast Asia. Taiwan.
Now it's getting a lot smaller.
See a lot of it.
Like they're down to like a couple hundred, they say, as far as like left that are actual parts of this tribe. But over generations and generations of these seafaring people, they're like divers. They don't have scuba masks though, but their spleens are enlarged and they're able to dive down to 200 feet with no scuba gear, and they can stay underwater for 10 minutes.
Oh.
They puncture the young's eardrums.
Their inner ears?
When they're young to help them cope with the depths that they dive to. But I think what makes this interesting to me is we talked in the past about like, what do you want to call it? Like uncommunicated tribes that haven't been exposed more or less,
Yes.
Yeah.
So these folks trade with, like they go to land and their wares, I guess, or whatever they're catching from the ocean, they take and they trade for goods they need. So they're absolutely contacted and are aware of what's going on in the rest of the world, and they're part of it. But they just live in the sea on these boats.
Wow.
But like I say, it used to be a much larger populace of them, but now it sounds like they're down to maybe 200 to 400, 100 to 200, something like that.
Nomadic seafaring people.
Sea gypsies.
Yeah. But I just thought that was wild that you've got this going on. The world's doing everything the world's doing. These people are aware of it. They
Lipa Lipa.
And they're just hanging out.
Was that Lipa Lipa? What the hell is that Tim Allen movie? In the Jungle Now? Whenever
Jungle to Jungle.
Jungle to Jungle, yeah. When there was a boy.
The other one was in the army now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, the boy was from Lipa Lipa. But it says the boat-dwelling Sama Bajau see themselves as non-aggressive people. They kept close to the shore by erecting houses on stilts and traveling using lipa, homemade boats, which many live in.
You would think the Bajau are buried at sea.
What is
Turns out
go ahead, Casey.
Osteoporosis.
You reading that too?
Well, I saw that. That's a different group.
AUSTROASI. Austro-Sciatic ancestry. I don't know what that word means.
So most of the Bajau are Muslim, and the Muslim faith but because they're Muslim, they will bury their families on the mainland and follow the Islamic tradition from bathing to burial process.
Huh.
Can you imagine that? You're born at the sea, you die at the sea. We're going to bury you on mainland.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, they speak like Vietnamese is what it says.
And like I say, they're
language.
Yeah, they're I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Civilized, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
They can't read and write, and they don't know their age. Sea nomad life makes the Bajau tribe not so concerned with education of their offspring. The result is, of course, the majority of them do not know letters, aka illiterate. In fact, they are not really know about their age. Well, that's great. Like the author of this
did not very know about his spelling.
Yeah, pretty tough spot there.
That'd be wild, dude. I couldn't imagine. I wonder how far, like out in the sea, do they venture? You know what I mean? Like I wonder if they
far enough out to go 200 feet deep diving.
Well,
they hunt for like sea cucumbers and a couple other like deep fish. But could you imagine being somewhere and seeing somebody just jump off their little dinghy, like sitting at that swamp down in Florida,
Quit
And
playing with your dinghy.
and they go under.
And don't
And
come
you
back
wait
up for
2
10
minutes.
minutes.
3 minutes, 4 minutes. Oh my God, a shark! You know, like when you just see them jump in wearing
Yep.
nothing but their loincloth. or
Yeah,
whatever.
they're skivs or whatever.
And they're just down there. And then 10 minutes later, they pop up out of the water with a daggone sea sucker or something. you
Yeah,
know.
a sack full of gooey ducks.
Not a sea sucker, but
Yeah, I
like,
got.
like a sucker fish of the sea. Look at the size of this sea sucker.
I can get a better look at them warlocks. Yeah, I don't know, dude. That's wild. I mean, I've never heard of the sea
Bajau.
the sea gypsies there, but I could only imagine that would be pretty wild. I did see a video that recently surfaced on TikTok about a investigative journalist that got hooked up with some cannibalistic tribe,
Oh boy.
and they basically they told him to shut the up or they were going to eat him, like he was asking like really intrusive questions and stuff, and the one old feller did not like it, and his film crew basically told him like, okay, it's time to leave, like we better get out of here before you wind up on a skewer, you know what I mean?
What's for dinner?
You know what I mean? But that I mean like that whole Papua New Guinea and like all them old, you know, them, I don't know if I could do it, man. Like these people, like you said, they do interact with the civilized world, but I'm sure there's some out there that ain't never been messed with, and I don't know if I'd want to mess with them. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you don't want to go getting your face ate off or anything.
No, sir.
How long do they live? Like, what's their median age?
You know, to tell you the truth, I just
104. No idea.
It's probably, I'd say the salt water maybe preserves them a little more. That depth really
Yeah.
keeps them going. I bet they live to be about.
Man, I had a
79.
good thought, but I'll save it for another one.
Is it about how?
It has a lot to do with the ocean
Oh,
and salt.
how water puts out fires, so fire shouldn't like water, but water also makes plants grow, which is what fire consumes. Wild, huh? Thought that's what you were talking about.
Jeez. No, not really anything to do with that, but
It sounds like the lifestyle of the Bajau have kind of gone out of favor.
Yeah, and they're dwindling. But they're self-taught carpenters. They build their own structures and boats.
they don't trade in dirt, though, do they?
Well, not a lot of use for dirt on a boat.
Well, here's the other thing. I mean, if we're going to be honest, it's not
Or
like they're
trade on the dirt.
Waterworld, they use dirt as currency.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think these guys have gills. That's what makes
Well,
the dirt important.
What? Huh?
Just grasping for straws, buddy.
No, they
Kevin
Costner was a mutant.
Oh, the rest of them didn't have gills.
No,
That's right.
he was a mutant.
It's been a while since I'd seen that.
Yeah, and they were pirates, and they used dirt as currency. And then that girl had a map tattooed on her back how to get to to dry land.
Man, I think I'd be a good pirate if I had.
But they were overrun by the smokers. See, now I don't know if they were any derivatives of you or your kin, but these are a pretty rough bunch.
Could you imagine being that one Bajau guy that can't dive and hold your breath for
It would be
10
me,
minutes?
some big fat bastard that floats.
I don't think there's any fat Bajus.
No, there's no way.
It had to be
You fat Baju.
it'd be a big boat.
It's not a chance.